Hello once again. In this week's Parashas, we have the incredible words uttered by Klal Yisrael of Nasa v'Nishma. Words that for us have stood as the central commitment that Klal Yisrael has made throughout the generations, the level that we strive for every time we recall these words of Nasa v'Nishma. We long for the time that we can reconnect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu on that level of the complete and total readiness to do whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us. But it's interesting because from the Gentiles' point of view, from the non-believer, really Nasa v'Nishma was a source of derision for Klal Yisrael. The Gemara in Shabbos tells us that the Tzeduki sees Rava learning Torah with such fervor and such commitment and such so impervious to what's going on around him that as he was moving with the Gemara, as he was learning his sugya with his chavrusa, he was twisting. There was something twisted around his finger, and as he was moving, it was getting tighter and tighter until finally it started bleeding. And the Tzeduki sees this, and he says, "I see you're this impetuous people. You are consistent with the same level of impetuousness that you had back by Matan Torah. When you said Nasa v'Nishma, we didn't even check to see what HaKadosh Baruch Hu was giving you. You should have first found out. Can you do it? Is it reasonable? Is it doable? But no, you guys just said Nasa v'Nishma. You just jumped right in. And it's the same impetuousness. It's the same sort of flightiness and lightheadedness that's leading you into this situation where you don't even realize that your finger is bleeding." And Rava answers that Tzeduki, and he says, "You fail to understand the uniqueness of Klal Yisrael. Tumas Yisharim Tanchem. We are a special people, and we have a wholeness and a completeness about us, and a trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu that allows us to have the confidence. It's that same confidence." He says that when we said Nasa v'Nishma, we didn't have to ask what's in the Torah. We didn't have to first find out what the rules were, because our level of midos and our completeness and our wholeness in terms of our relationship with ourselves and with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with each other and with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, was such that we had total trust. And that trust allowed us to be able to say those incredible words that the Malach HaSharas, the heavenly angels, were astounded by the depth of those words. But you can only say those words when you have the kind of spirit and the kind of midos and the wholeness of character that allows you to trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you have that, then you're able to jump into Torah. Jump into Torah the way Rav was able to jump into Torah. And only then, when clearly the Gemara is connecting what Rav was doing to the level of Klal Yisrael by Nasa v'Nishma. It was sort of the same thread, the same level of total trust and total reliance on HaKadosh Baruch Hu to do the right thing, to love us to the point where there's nothing that he would ever do that would hurt us. That comes, number one, from a level of midos. So number one, we see from this Gemara how important it is for us to have this connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for us to really rely on the mitzvahs being the way they really are, sources of connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, opportunities to become close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, opportunities to gain tremendous entryway not only to Olam Haba, but into developing ourselves properly here in this world. In order to do that, we have to have a wholeness of character, a level of trust, and a level of goodness about us that allows us to have that trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So how important it is to work on Amidos constantly to be able to develop that Ava and develop that Bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And secondly, we see that only once we have that, can we then immerse ourselves into learning the way Rava did. It's not possible. For somebody, maybe you didn't have that trust, it really might be impetuous. It might be a level of flightiness or lightheadedness. It would be a criticism. Only when we have the trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when our learning reflects the understanding of what Torah is. Torah is the blueprint of creation. Torah is the word, the living word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that allows us to get close to Him, allows us to understand what the essence of the world is all about. When we have that, then it's possible to literally not realize that we're bleeding. That's when it becomes a praise for the Jew to be so involved in learning. As Hashem let us develop that trust. First, we have to develop the midos. Through the midos, we can develop the trust. Through that trust, we can completely immerse ourselves, Bez Hashem, into the Yama Talmud properly, with purity, with commitment. And